So the day after surgery, I felt I could like flick, nothing happened. So I just put an ice pack on, giant sweatpants, called an Uber.
Waddle your
we got to eat. It was a table for 5, but we got one for 6, so I could do this like the whole time.
Tickets are on sale for KFC Radio Live. Click the link in the bio. Get yours. Come out and hang with the boys. What are those?
These are custom dunks.
I was gonna say those are not.
My manager gave me a Christmas gift or something. It was like a stupid amount of money at some place where I would never spend money.
The best kind of gifts, right?
I was like, well, I can't return it. I didn't want to be like, bro, what the fuck am I gonna do with this gift card? I would never buy custom dunks anywhere. You know what I mean? But since he gave it to me, I was like, okay, let's see what I can do. So these are the Panda dunks. But the guy, I was like, can we make them? I saw he had some other shit. My favorite sneakers, like the Laser 20 Jordan. Mm-hmm. It's got all his highlights and shit engraved. Yeah. Like, well, we can't do that, but so I had him take like some of my favorite jokes from like my favorite comics.
Sick.
So if you look closely, it's like Chris Rock's.
No way.
That's very sick.
That is very cool.
A bunch of shit. Patrice and Carlin Pryor is all up on here. So.
That's dope.
Yeah, but you really got to read the shoe.
Yeah. You got to like curb stomp people for you're like, it's pretty sick shoes, right?
They're so uncomfortable.
Dude, are we rolling? Yeah. No, let's just let it rip me.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I feel like the fact that some of these guys played basketball in these sneakers.
It's fucking crazy.
Like. And to this day, when some guys will take the court and like I'll wear like my throwback Jordan 1s.
Yeah,
it's like you're playing in a pair of like papers stapled around your around your feet, basically.
It's a terrible shoe for your feet.
All of them.
I don't know what an athletic shoe is. I remember like with Air coming out recently, and I remember like how they used to play in Chucks, and then
playing in Converse is fucking insane.
Yeah.
But I remember we did like a fucking combine here, which is stupid to begin with because none of us are athletic anymore, or ever were.
Yeah.
And I just happened to be wearing Ultra Boost that day.
Yeah.
And we were doing like a 3-cone drill.
Oh.
And I went to do like 1 cone to stop at, and like my
Roll
ankle just rolled right over.
I did the same shit.
And
I really hurt my ankle on that. Yeah.
And then I started like jogging the rest of the way, and Dave, our boss, is like, Feitelberg doesn't even try. I'm like, dude, I know you're right. I guess if that's trying, you're right. I'm not going to break my ankle in Ultra Boost today to get a good. I'm not. We do the shuttle. I was like, I'm not Julian Edelman. I'm not getting. Belichick's not drafting me because I have a good shuttle time here.
Right.
I'm gonna fucking.
What are you supposed
avoid
to wear?
Surgery?
What do you wear?
That's what I mean. Like, I thought an Ultra Boost was a shoe you'd wear actively.
Those are like running shoes are very good, but I think the best basketball shoe ever made was a Kobe Zoom 4.
Which is funny though, because I feel like when he first came out and they were low tops, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you can't wear those."
Yeah, but he also has like insane ankle strength.
Right, right.
You gotta have insane ankle strength to wear low top sneakers, and the high tops constrain you.
I did get a kick out of that when people were like, "No, those are low tops. You can't wear. What you should be wearing are these bricks."
Yeah.
Like if you ever put on a pair of Jordan 12s. The thought of playing basketball on those, it's like wearing a boot. It feels like I'm wearing a pair of like leather boots. They're great. They look cool, but
it's
wild.
A heavy shoe.
Well, the Kobe Aztecs.
I don't remember those.
The one they weren't. I don't think they were actually called Aztecs, but they look like a Pontiac Aztec. The one it was with Adidas. It was before it came.
Oh
Nike.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Was it the Aztec? I thought it was Audi.
No, it's
it's a Pontiac Aztec.
It's the Pontiac Aztec, the car. I don't know what the shoe is.
Because he did.
The selling point of that car was you could open the doors and hose it out. That's not a joke. My lacrosse coach had one. He's like, yeah, it's easy to clean.
Bro, I'll tell you what.
The fuck kind of selling point is that?
With 2 kids now, I wish I could open that shit up and just blast it down too. It's not as crazy as you think.
It's Heisenberg's car.
Yeah, right.
Get rid of the evidence, dude.
Dude, we were just talking about Heisenberg. One of our buddies who works here tweeted the other day that he recently rewatched. He just finished rewatching.
He's not the smartest guy.
Breaking Bad, and he's like, "Am I crazy or is Walt the bad guy?" I was like, dude, that's the name of the show.
Yes.
The whole fucking point of it is right over the head.
Well, I mean, goddamn.
The guy who ran someone over at an Aztec and hosed it out. Is he like not good?
We're not supposed to root for him.
Speaking of rooting for you, I was just looking at the special on the YouTube page.
Oh, thank you, man.
Ripping, tons of views and everything, but the feedback is so good.
Yes, thank you, man.
so and good feedback and nice feedback is hard to come by on the internet.
Tell me about it.
But I mean, the people are like so supportive. Now, Question is though, do you read that shit and see that shit, and B, do you take that? Because to me, it's like if you're gonna listen to the good comments, you gotta listen to the bad comments.
Yes, I mean for me, like half the reason I started therapy was because I read too many YouTube comments, and it's just like what the fuck. And like when you read comments, you have to. It's so weird to have to like bracket. Okay, like at some point in my life, Chris Rock has told me I'm funny. But here, this guy,
Nobody, yeah,
he's got like 3 subscribers in India.
Yeah,
Definitely wants to fuck Narendra Modi. Is telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, who do I listen to?
I know,
Dude, I had a therapist. I had a therapist tell me. She like gave me like a homework assignment, and she was like, "Start reading your comments."
Oh my, it hurts my feelings.
like last year, I was like, oh, "This is crazy."
That is insane.
It was the worst session of my life. Afterwards, I was like, "I'm never doing that again." And by the way, I'm reporting you to the fucking.
Yeah, you're fired. You're a Better Business Bureau, whatever. OSHA, whatever.
That was the worst advice I've ever gotten in my life. Let me see your degree again. I'm tired of this Zoom stuff. I want to touch it.
That person,
I want to look at, make sure it's embossed.
I think about that all the time.
They should be fucking disbarred or whatever it's called, lose their license.
I talked to a therapist over the internet, and it's like I just found her on the internet. It could just be some lady that I'm giving $250 to every time I want to. It's just a Friday, I was on stage in Houston, and there was a therapist in the crowd, and she had like a master's in psychology, and I was like, "What else do you do?" She says, "Dance therapy," and I'm like, "What the fuck is dance therapy?" She's like, "Well, I encourage my patients to dance and get loose," and I'm like, "Okay, this is like seems like someone just has like." Wants to see people move their shoulders in a strange way. Got a master's in psychology to back that shit up.
Yeah. We reverse engineered that one.
I have a kink that I need a piece of paper to say you can do.
Yeah, now make it clap. Now twerk for me a little bit. Yeah.
But all jokes aside, like therapy's been helpful to like going back to the YouTube comment shit. It's like yes, the answer is I do have to read the negative ones, but I have to train my brain to be like, no, the positive ones are the real ones, and the negative ones are people who don't know how to communicate other things.
Yeah. I do believe in that. That sounds a little bit. I've said that before, and some people are like, "Oh, that's convenient," but I do believe that it takes more. Like you're not gonna like willy-nilly comment like, "Wow, man, that was really good," and like I appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah,
and keep doing it. You will just on a whim comment like "fuck you," that shit sucks.
Exactly. It takes a lot more energy to be like, "I really enjoy this. This was positive. Thank you for this."
It's almost like the adult version or the tech version of they told you as a kid, where it's like it only takes 7 muscles to smile, but 43 to frown.
Exactly.
Whereas like it's a lot harder to say something mean than it is to say something nice.
I don't know.
It's like easier.
I'm very happy with the feedback. I think like we've created a piece of art. Like that was a goal, and not to sound up my own ass, but it was like that. Like Mookie Thompson, the director, like we came in with a vision of how do we make it aesthetically different than anything's out that
it is very
out there, and just like really feel lo-fi but hi-fi, and be like like people that watch it and get into it, are like, oh, this is like incredibly well done.
I liked there was like the stairs on the side being exposed.
Yes.
And then you had like shadows. For some reason I don't remember like seeing a lot of shadows in stand up, and I was like, oh, that's cool too.
It was all credit to Mookie, who like we had a very low budget relative to what the special could have had as a budget, and so like lighting design was him.
Yeah.
And that stair thing at the end was like a little touch. I don't know if you watch it, but if you watch closely, you see that the lights come on.
Yeah. Right
when the door opens, like all of that was him, and it was just like, yeah, I think we achieved something very cool.
Which is important. I think like there's been this kind of like renaissance or golden era of comedy, whatever. A lot of podcasts, a lot of stand up, a lot of specials, and they do kind of get like a little redundant.
You can say too many.
Yeah. I think the word special, used to mean something. Now it doesn't.
Yeah.
But so making it, memorable. I mean, obviously, hopefully through your content, right? But also the way it looks, the way it's shot, the length of it, like whatever thing you can do to maybe differentiate, I think goes a long way to stick out to people.
Yeah.
At what point post-diagnosis, so if you don't know a special, it's Lucky Lefty, and it focuses almost entirely on your testicular cancer.
The full title is Lucky Lefty or I Lost My Right Nut.
Yeah.
All I got was
the stupid special.
At what point in your process of having and beating cancer were you like, fuck yes, this is gonna play.
Oh, immediately.
No, we talk all the time about stuff on such a smaller level, but like when regular bad shit happens to us, there's the first moment of like, fuck, my car got towed. That sucks.
Right.
Followed by like, the show for the week is done.
Yeah.
I got this video's gonna go viral. This is gonna happen. That's gonna happen.
Yep.
Like bad shit is almost good in our world. Now we don't usually talk about cancer,
Right.
But
It was such a fucked up a way to think about it immediately, because it was like within like the first like 4 hours, because I went to the hospital that night, and that night funny shit happened. So I couldn't not immediately get into process this as what are the jokes. And then for the next like 5 days, which I detail in the special, like all that shit happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, just like, how could this, it's like truth is stranger than fiction kind of thing. I was like, okay, I'll just literally write down exactly what happened and then figure out how to say it.
So easy. So easy. First, how do you make it in comedy? First, get cancer.
Yes.
Second, write it down.
Exactly.
Third, turn it into a
That's
special.
literally all it was. And not to go back to the therapist shit, but I was like, at the end of the special, I say like, and this is true, like I really had no idea how I was supposed to feel, because like most people feel bad that happened to them, but I never at one point was like, man, I cannot believe, I'm so sad about it. And she was like, yeah, you just talked about it immediately. It's like the exposure therapy or immersion therapy, whatever. It was like, once you
right in the deep end,
you started processing like within a few hours of what was going on, because you had stand-up is your outlet, and so you never had an opportunity to be mad or sad or whatever. You just went through it immediately.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think about that sometimes in therapy, because like I'm basically just like telling stories. I'm just trying to get her to laugh.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm
it's a
like, that's what I do on the show
crowd.
too. Like I just tell like bad things or whatever, not even bad things, just anything that happened. I'm like, is this just like a dry run for the podcast when we do it? Like I don't do
It's a pre-production meeting.
But like, all right, I gotta tweak it. She didn't really laugh at that part.
Punch this up a little bit.
Yeah, I've taken some swings and they have not hit. It's been bad.
Dude, you say a lot in the special that I liked, but there was a lot that I kind of leveled with. My dad also had testicular cancer, and when you're talking about how like women get like the I don't want to give away too much, but like how the patch and all that shit, and I was like, I couldn't tell you what year my dad got cancer. I couldn't tell you.
I forget all the time that he had it. You always bring it up, like, we would have had more kids, but he got cancer. I'm like, oh yeah, your dad had cancer.
That was the next thing I was gonna say, because I think you say you're still good. You can have kids. You're kind of took control and is like, I'm gonna step up.
Yep.
I'm the father that stepped up.
My mom wanted to have 6 kids.
6?
And there's 4 of us.
Psycho,
But my
man.
dad got cancer after 4.
Pussy.
And just like, we can't have kids anymore. And I was like, we were gonna go to 6, but we had to stop because your dad got sick. And now I think he made that up.
I was gonna say the best thing that ever happened to him. If you have to pick between having one nut or having 6 kids, I'll take the one nut.
for sure.
But maybe he's just like, no, sorry, honey, I'm shooting blanks. Paid the doctor to tell her.
I'll take this meeting alone.
Yeah.
Doc said we're done.
Yeah.
Listen,
Tell her, like, they don't work, but they do.
the good news is I'm gonna survive. The bad news, babe, we're done. That's fucking funny.
That was a big conversation with the doctor, and he kind of made a joke about it, but he was just like, listen, if you'll still be fine having kids, but if you were to have kids with this cancer, you don't want the cancerous ball kids.
Yeah.
Because the sperm mixes from the both of them, so you don't want to pass on.
So you have
defective-
cancer sperm.
Yes.
You don't want to make a cancer sperm kid.
Exactly. I was like, interesting, man.
Cancer sperm
that-
kids, they don't laugh.
No.
And
They
that-
usually don't see 3rd grade.
Comes
That
out
would pass
outside.
on just like the predisposition to get cancer?
Exactly.
Wow.
So I was like, all right, cool. I don't fucking.
That's the lame cum.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, so I mean, it all worked out.
I think it's anytime, again, to go back to differentiating, Ari Shaffir kind of did it recently with Jew, where it was
Right.
like this one theme.
What was the theme of that? Just making sure.
But it's still, you still get other comedy. It's not, you kind of spiral out and then come back to the main theme. But again, it's like everyone else, or a lot of people, it was, you open up about COVID, and then you talk about how you're happy to be back in person.
Yeah.
And blah, 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 blah. It was a lot of the same shit, Obviously, There's not going to be any other special like this. You know?
There's I think Tom Green had a special about his cancer. I didn't watch it. Shout out Tom Green. But for me, it was like
there's one guy on YouTube. Tom Green already did this.
Yes, exactly.
Go to therapy.
It was a decision point to be like, okay, like this is the only thing this is going to be about. I think when I did the live taping, I had some like those kinds of jokes, like setup jokes to like warm the crowd up myself a little bit, but it was also such a deviation for me as a stand-up because I'd never told a story like that before, just like a 40-minute singular topic. And like the design of the special was so much work, like the writing design of it, because like for the first like few weeks I was trying to make it a reveal that I had cancer, and that kind of like manipulated the crowd in a way I didn't like. And I was like, okay, well, let me just go in, hit them hard with jokes the entire time and see if I can't still make it a story. And that was like what helped me make it this compact thing, because I could have like done those deviations and gone elsewhere and all that kind of stuff, but I was like, fuck it, like this is the story, this is how I would tell it to my cousins at a bar with them interjecting, and then after that it would be done, you know what I mean?
Right.
We're not going to go on like a million tangents, like here's the story, guys.
Right.
You know?
I mean like that, you know, I think the best comedy is always like you take the worst, darkest, saddest, hardest, whatever, and make it funny.
At least try to, for sure.
Yeah. Have you? Has there been a big response of like from many? You know, I went through that too, because I feel like you're gonna have just an army of one-nutted dudes being like, "He's right, that's true." And like, speak your truth, brother.
It's been interesting to see how many dudes tell me about their balls. Just on the road, I know after every show, guaranteed, if I do a meet and greet, it'd be like one or two people like, hey, man, I went through the same thing. And so many times.
So wait a minute. You're telling me there's like always a one bald person in the crowd?
There's always someone who went through some crazy shit with their balls.
One time my foot slipped off the bike pedal.
On Friday, I think Friday or Saturday in Houston, I was on stage and some guy was like, man, you saved my life. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I saw your special and I had a cyst. And I got it checked, and I was like, was it cancer? He was like, no, but, you know, it was a cyst. I'm like, bro.
Your life was never in danger.
Was never in danger, man.
That's fucked up.
But there's always that, and it's been cool. Like, people message me on Instagram, like, yo, like, thank you for that. Like, I'm going to get checked because of you. I'm like, okay, good. Like, at least it's working on that level.
Yeah, totally.
But also you get the thing where you're like, well, now I got a whole nother job.
Yeah. Some guy was like, do I get checked? What's the process? Like, my bro, go to the doctor.
I'm a fucking comedian, man.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't listen to me.
Yeah, give me your nuts. Let me feel them. I'll tell you right now.
That's the problem with the internet, where like when it was first started, like everyone's got a community now. It's like, well, I don't want to be part of a community. I just want to tell a story.
Yes, exactly. I'm happy to be the face of the one ball boy brigade, but like I don't like go to the doctor. Okay, fuck, that's the message. Go to the doctor. Dudes don't go to the doctor.
No, we don't.
Go to the doctor. It's fine.
Don't.
But also doctors. You had a good one. They always like, dude, I went to the doctor recently and they were like, you got this like stomach thing and it's like you were predisposed to ulcers and you gotta like take medicine and like the medicine's really draining. And I was like, all right, when do I have to take that? And they're like, whenever you want. And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, it makes you really tired. So when you have like a month where things are like low.
Oh, sure.
I was like, all right.
This is my slow month.
I'll hit you back sometime, I guess. They're like, I still haven't taken the medicine. I could break out in ulcers at any moment. But it's like, I don't.
Is that stressing you out?
Not that I want to think about it.
Bro, he takes antacid medication that's so strong, the fucking side effects are dementia.
And by the way, I was supposed to stop taking that months ago.
I would hope.
And
you've been crazy, man.
I've forgotten to stop taking it.
That's a good joke. That's a funny joke.
But I was away last week and I ran out of the medicine, and I was like, all right, I guess like I'll just stop now because I'm out. And like within 3 days, I had the worst heartburn. I was like, "Fuck it,
damn,
run me
man.
another."
I'm sorry, I didn't know that was going on with you. That's fucking nuts.
We'll be all right.
He'll survive. He's got both his nuts. He's good.
Yeah.
Is there was there any thought of like, I mean, you said pretty much from the jump, like you were making content out of it, but was there any like, with your family or someone being like, maybe we shouldn't talk about it or be public with it? I know I never had anything like this, but there's definitely things that I'm like, I wish I didn't make that public because then I gotta keep talking about it and all that shit.
My mom was definitely like, are you sure you want to talk about this? And I was like, yeah, why not? I got nothing else to talk about. So
Ma, I gotta make this special. Trying to get these views, Ma.
But with like almost immediately, no one in my family is like, don't say this or don't about anything.
Yeah.
And so like everyone was just like, yeah, obviously you're going to talk about it. This is like a major thing that's going on in your life. I think my mom was just a little like, what will people think kind of thing of like, you're not ashamed or embarrassed by any of it? I'm like, not really. It's just what happened. So I have to talk about it. There was hesitancy in me to make it special for like the first like few weeks or so. I was really just like, because I was just annoyed with talking about it because
I bet.
From like a joke perspective, I'm tired of talking about my balls. I can sense that the crowd is like, it's been 33 minutes.
Still talking about it? Nuts.
Where's the Trump shit? What are we
yeah.
And it's like, but that was maybe my own like I was just being self-conscious of like what the crowd was feeling because that's what I was feeling. I was like, I fucking hate this shit.
Which is like, you're always going to, especially as a comic, but anybody, but particularly comics who are a lot of times telling the same jokes, same material, but those people are hearing it for the first time or want to hear you repeat it or want to hear like the classics. So I almost think that's one of, we do live podcasts, we're doing stand-up, but we have figured out a couple things that work and we try to like run it back. And even doing it just like twice, I'm like, I can't do this again. I can't fake that again. And I'm talking about 2 times, and you guys will do it hundreds of times on the road. I don't know how you do it.
You gotta. I iterated on it so many times. Where I was like, by the time the special was taped, I was like, man, I cannot wait to never say testicular cancer or my balls or anything like that ever again. Like at one point, we were like counting how many times I said balls in the special, just as a way to like be entertained. Like, what was he gonna? Like,
what was the number?
I don't even know, like 22, I think I said at one point.
That's not bad.
It's just a fucking huge, like, I had to keep it entertaining for myself. And the way you do that is just try to add a new bit in between, like something I'm chasing towards. And if it hits, like, great. And then I just downhill from the rest of the set kind of thing,
I was thinking philosophically, you keep calling it your left nut, but now it's just the nut. There's no.
No, there's a fake one in there.
Oh, you got the fake one. Okay. And so it still hangs to the left.
Yes, sir. So I got the lefty. Lefty's the real one. The right one is for the streets now. he gone, man.
and what is the fake thing? What's that for?
It's psychologically. I say in the special, but it's like the doctor told me, it was like men need to, like as like a mental thing, like subconsciously for whatever reason.
Get the fuck out.
Like men feel less like men if there's just one dangling in there.
Could you have done it like? I feel like if it happened to me, I'd be like, let me take the one for a test drive.
Yeah, like I want to be streamlined.
If I come in here, I just want to see what it feels like. If I come back, if I don't like the way it handles, I'll come back. We'll pop the second one in.
I wouldn't want to spend another $1 billion for elective kind of. Here, my balls feel lonely. And the doctor, he says he told me, and I might have missed it, but to me, like I don't remember him saying he's going to put a fake one in. And I just woke up and with another one there. I was like, that's crazy, bro.
That is crazy. Do you think you missed it, or I
think I missed it because it would be like a pretty big oversight. I'm sure in the day in between surgery, like the day I got the call was a Sunday. Monday was like set up payment and all that kind of shit. Tuesday was surgery. I'm guessing on that Monday it was like, here's the bill here's the outline of the bill that explains like where everything's going to be. I'm sure in there it was like part of it is going to be like a fake nut being slipped in.
Nut.
Yeah.
They just put a fucking like egg in there.
I think he slid one in just because insurance typically doesn't cover it. And because like it is almost elective. It's just for like this quote unquote psychological reason.
So maybe he didn't tell you because he's like, I keep this on the low, but I'm gonna give you.
It's
a fake
possible.
nut.
That's what I'm saying. Like I can't recall that Monday conversation. I was 2 men were like about like all the shit I had to do to go get the like to set up the surgery. I had to go to Jersey City Medical Center, like set it all up. I spent like 4 hours there, and then when I got done, they told me, "Oh, why did you go to the hospital? You could have just done the blood work at home." I'm like, I mean, like near your house. It's supposed to take an hour-long Uber to and sit for 4 hours and round. But also in that call, he might have been like, "I'm hooking you up."
I got you, dude.
Yeah.
Like, we can't talk about it, but you're gonna wake up happy.
Yeah.
When you woke up, were you? I would be like, all right, I got two. My mind would start processing. I'm like, do they do nut cadavers? Like, I know you say
Did you
it's
have another guy's
like,
nut?
I'm like, did they just fucking pop a dead guy's nut? Do I have dead nut in me right now?
I'm gonna start feeling strange things like whatever that whatever that nut's like actual owner's feelings were. I had that. I was
a brain connection with him or something.
Tingle in your balls. You see a hot dude. Like, was he gay?
Yeah, was he gay, dude?
I've got gay nuts in me.
That was like a horror movie. Like a horror movie comedy idea that I had. Like once I realized they were gonna put a fake one in, I was like, what if I wake up with some crazy man's balls?
Do you think that's an interesting thought? Like, I don't think I would mentally have an issue if I had cancer and you took one out. I think I'd be like, all right, I have one nut.
Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah. Thankfully, I don't have to find out.
Yeah.
Now,
I guess you don't want to go down that road. I mean, I could see, there's all sorts of insecurity with everything in that department, but I think I'd be like, yeah, I don't know. I had a bad one. I had to take it out.
Yeah.
Man, this far with a little dick. I figured.
There's other shit that's making me way more uncomfortable down there. I just feel like I'd rather less fucking. I don't know. It might be nice. Just like a tighter, smaller package. It is. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine just even and having one conversation about it now. I'm like, all right, let's stop talking about your nuts.
Yeah,
and you've been doing it.
It's a lot.
I'm
happy. Like I can continue. I could talk about them all day, but I just the room don't feel like wants it anymore. It's like there's shit going on in the world,
do
bro.
You would be insecure about having one nut?
I don't think that's why I was saying I wanted to test drive it. Just see. Yeah. I'm sure. There's a lot I think I'd be okay with. Then in the moment, it's a lot I thought I'd be okay with. In the moment, I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I think probably nut would maybe if the doctors were telling me, listen to the science.
I would just hate for it to look like those whenever people go through like crazy bypass surgery and their skin like just drags.
Yeah.
I would hate to have that down there. Like fucking loose floppy.
Yeah, I would hope they would trim it up for you.
You got to
carve up the turkey a little.
You got a jib on your balls.
Yeah. I don't need that, dude. That would be gross. So I'm happy. Thank you, doctor. You did great work.
It's so funny. So what do you, if this didn't happen to you, where do you, like, I mean, it just became such a part of, your comedy and your work and special and everything.
I don't know. I mean, I was, so like I taped Thank You China, my first hour in December of 2021. And then I had my entire January 2022 was like booked with crazy dates. And I did like, I think at one point 13, to end January 2022, I had like 13 shows in a row. But I was just like, and I was returning to cities that I had performed before. So I couldn't do the Thank You China stuff. I didn't want to. I was like, I don't know what these fans want, but like I know as a comic, like I can't do the same shit over.
Yeah.
So I went through all my notes for like the 2-3 week break that I had. I was like, okay, let me just cobble together like just some starting new shit. And then it didn't go as well as I'd hoped, but I had a lot of fun on stage just fucking around. And I'm confident I would have been able to, I think my comedy would just been like topical or social or, some hybrid of like the stuff I got into comedy for, which was like Chris Rock stuff, like just like talking about society and stuff. But then once this happened, I was like, all right, I guess this is the gift and the curse, like I got to talk about my balls, but I got to talk about my balls. That was it. I have no idea.
It is a good gift because it is like I think with like social media, you see everyone has a bit about something. Obviously, that's the job.
Right.
But like with clips now, they're all so much out there that I think the internet just kills everything a lot faster than it used to.
100%.
Where you're like, it used to be like, once a year you see a special on HBO and you're like, all right, I haven't even heard their take on it. Now it's like you can only have like 3 takes.
Everyone's got
Right,
it's now it's a race to who's got the best take out fastest.
Yeah.
And that's such an annoying game to play.
You
But
say
no
you
one
say
can
something.
beat you at yours, at
yeah,
your
that's
story.
what's nice
Exactly.
about. Yeah, you can kind of sit when it's your personal story. It's like I can take as long as I want with this. And,
Exactly.
you
I was
know.
just hoping no one else got cancer for very
Could
selfish
you
reasons.
imagine that, dude? It's like, well, Chappelle just put out a special.
Yeah.
He's got prostate cancer.
God
One
damn.
up, dude.
Yeah.
Calling everyone every morning. How you feeling today? All right, well,
No cancer? Okay.
I got another week.
Yeah. If like in the back of my head, there was like someone's gonna have cancer soon. Someone's gonna take my shit.
So that's a great thought to think. You read the news, so and so's got like pancreatic cancer. You're like, God damn it, ruin this special.
Nah, pancreatic's good. They're gonna die fast.
Yeah, that's true. We'll get rid of them fast. They'll be out of the
They're
news
not gonna
cycle
have time
real
for a
quick.
special, dude.
That's funny. What do you think the number one thing the internet has ruined for you?
God damn. What has the internet ruined for me? News for sure.
Yeah.
News is probably the right. Like there's a right answer to that question, and it's the
Sorry
news.
for being
Yeah.
correct. But yeah, it's definitely the news and definitely comedy. Like comedy is ruined. I'm very optimistic about where comedy is going to go. I just think it's going to, or where it's going rather. It's just like, it took me a second to get to that spot where it was like, I can only talk about what I can talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Aziz told me that like forever ago, like in like 2018 or some shit. He's like, only talk about what only you can talk about, and this will help you like as an artist.
That's fucking great advice, man.
Because-
like everything though, I just like stay in your wheelhouse. You know,
Yeah.
like, what are you good at? What do you do?
Aziz is really on the forefront of all that. I remember reading an article about it was like a GQ whatever feature on Aziz, and this is like probably 6-7 years ago, maybe more. And he was like, the article was about how he just has a flip phone. And I remember like just reading like it was like I walked into the writer. It was like I walk into the bar and Aziz Ansari is just standing there, and like. In this day and age, he's not on the phone. There's no glow on his face. Like in this day and age, like that is the utmost sign of confidence. Where it's like that's a guy who just like I'm good hanging out. I'm
Comfortable
good.
in my
I'm good with who I am and what I am, and I'll chill until someone needs me.
Yeah. No, it's something I want to emulate, which is like I saw him in London a few months ago, and we were just hanging. But it was like flip phone whenever he needed like text me, and it was like that's fucking crazy, bro. Like I wish I can't wait to get there.
Yeah.
But I think it's more like also like a huge career flex. Like I got
right.
I don't need any of
I
this
don't need
shit.
any of
Yeah.
But
that is a that's more of a luxury, than a like. I think that when you reach if you're super talented or reach a certain level, the mystery is a good thing.
Yes.
And then if you're not, it's like I just got to throw everything at him.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know what's gonna hit, so I'm gonna try absolutely everything.
I'm trying to play like I try to go back and forth between strategically of like how much am I going to give to the people versus what I'm like with the specials. Like, okay, I'll just incrementally put parts of it out. That's fine. But now that I'm back on tour and stuff, it's like I got to flood the marketplace again.
Flood it.
You know?
Because it's like the arrogance to be like I'm gonna be mysterious. It's it's not a mystery if no one's looking into it.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah, it's pure arrogance to be like, people will fuck with it. It's like, and then the arrogance is always just insecurity, right? It's like I don't know if people will fuck with it. Let me keep fucking going. Like I don't have an ego about it right now about putting stuff out versus not putting stuff out. It's like I on purpose create a lot of stuff while I'm on the streets and the road. So might as well use it, and that's what got me to where I'm at right now in the first place. So,
by the way, was the whole like process of it like physically draining and hard, or was it just like in and out and you were good?
Ball cancer?
Yeah,
like
light work.
I went to eat at the Maca, the Indian restaurant in the city. Like this was before I knew the guy, but my friends had secured a reservation. Like weeks in advance for 6 people at a table at the Maca. It's like impossible for 6 people. Okay. We got it like prime time, and it was like the day after my surgery, and I was like, "There's no way I'm not going."
Get out of here! You rolled up, stitched up to Maca.
The doctor was like, "Yeah, you can go. You'll be." It was like the anesthesia that they have is like they put I forget what the anesthetic is, but they dissolve it in fat. And that's what they inject locally, and so it dissolves over 5 days. So you don't have to take like opioids or anything like that. It just for 5 days you feel nothing, and you just got to put ice pack on. So the day after surgery, I felt I could like fucking flick, nothing happened. so I just put an ice pack on, giant sweatpants, called an Uber.
Waddle your ass.
We got
to eat.
It was a table for 5, but we got one for 6, so I could do this like the whole time. Just fucking eating, bro. It was awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yo, next time, don't tell people that story because people are gonna. Like, my excuses of the reasons I don't go to things. You know, like, dude, he went out for dinner after ball cancer day 1. You can come out to dinner too.
It was exactly. I was blown away by how easily, like, how quick the recovery was. And obviously the doctor's like, well, don't go fucking working out or anything like that. But like, after 5 days, you're pretty much fine. The main majority of the pain will be gone. Take Advil if you feel anything. By like 10 days later, I was on stage. You know?
No shit.
Yeah. I was like, Doc, can I push the surgery? He's like, no, you should do it immediately. I was like, how quickly can I go back on the road? He's like, you'll walk a day after. Like, you'll be fine. I was like, okay. So like 2 weeks later, I can go on an airplane. He's like, yeah, of course. Your ball's not going to explode or nothing. It's just
Dude,
I am always a pussy.
I am always.
What's that? You're gonna call me to ask how many Advil you should take? Fucking do whatever you want to. Jesus Christ, you're a man.
Yeah.
You got 2 balls. I put one in there.
Be a man about it. Doctors are crazy, man.
He was.
I can't believe that these guys have figured out how to do all this shit.
Yeah. He was a cool dude. He was very funny.
The anesthesia, they say, but you don't have to do that, right? The anesthesia is always like the scariest part that no one thinks about.
No, they put me under.
Oh, they put you under.
Yeah. I mean, they still have to cut you open. The local shit I'm talking about is afterwards, so that like you don't have any pain management wise.
Oh, okay.
But like no, they put me under.
If you were awake for your own nut being taken out, I don't know if I can handle that.
Yeah,
Do you remember that old picture of the fucking guy in Iceland? I think it is taking out his own appendix. It's wild.
What?
No.
Yeah,
He did it to himself?
Yeah, it's like he was a scientist who was like in Iceland or fucking the Antarctica, wherever the fuck he was.
Slash crazy person, scientist slash crazy person,
and was like he was having appendicitis and like there was no one
else could do it.
So when I was there,
Holy
I'm gonna
shit.
see. I'm gonna pull it out.
That's crazy.
That's Is he still alive?
Did you see the nut?
No. I really wanted to see it.
Yeah, like sometimes you get like you get your tooth out or a bone or some shit.
No. I wanted to see it.
I don't know what it would look like.
Someone sent me a video. Like, people use the stupidest Instagram shit. Like I'm sure you guys know, but like DMs. One dude sent me like, "This is what balls look like." Like, thanks, man. I really need to see what my balls.
Yeah, he's a Russian.
Of course.
Just fucking doing it himself. That's wild.
That is insanity.
That's gangster.
How? What the fuck?
That's like Cameron driving
I was gonna say, I thought Cameron driving himself to the hospital was cool. Imagine if Cameron just operated on himself. That's really gangster.
Yeah, that's bananas, dude.
That's fucking
The
sick.
bleeding is quite heavy, but I take my time. He also took notes while he did it. Opening the peritoneum, I injured the blind. I had to sew it up.
Jesus.
Hell yeah.
Well, we're happy your nuts are good, man.
Yes,
I'm happy
thank you
it's
very
been
much.
good for business too.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
the specials flying. I know that's the new wave is the YouTube thing, but there's some that stand out more than others, and I think this is definitely one of those ones that
Thank you, man.
It's I'm sure it's opening a lot of doors to the next step.
It's-
right?
I mean-
it's just the most like proof of concept thing across all industries. I think right now is like the YouTube special for comedy, where it's just like, all right, you don't want my special? Okay, fine. I'll do it myself. Bam. Yes, you do. You know, because 350,000 people are watching it. Look at all the feedback.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 you know?
The people like it, and I think the direct-to-consumer boom that's going on in comedy is like, it's not going to go away.
No. It's only going to be more and more of that. So good on you. And let's, I guess, hope the next special is not anything traumatic or tragic.
I lost my left nut, and now I'm a woman.
Before we let you go, last question.
Yeah.
We like to have fun facts from our guests,
Mm-hmm.
and we wonder if you have one.
Got a fun fact?
I
Could be
actually picked
anything.
up a couple recently.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
A fun fact. I have my motorcycle license.
Oh.
I'm not sure if that's a fun fact or not, but that's probably the one that's what I go to in improv classes when you sign up for bullshit.
Do you ride?
No, I haven't. I've never ridden a motorcycle outside of the class I took to get the license.
Wait, why did you do it?
Because I wanted a motorcycle, and my mom was like, "Yeah, we'll get you one," and my dad was like, "Hard stop. No, you're not getting a bike." After I got my license, he just like let me get my license, and then Then I went to college, and then I realized, no, motorcycle is a fucking death sentence.
Totally.
It's like there's no need to get one.
We had Bert in recently, and he was talking about how his daughter can't pass her driving exam, and she's not worried because she's like, I'll just get a motorcycle. He's like, that's not how it works.
Her legit answer, I'll just get a motorcycle. That way I'll be able to drive.
Dad will just get me a driver.
Yeah.
Just get me a driver, Dad.
All right, dude. You got time to shoot a YouTube video?
Of course.
Cool. Let's do it.
Thank you very much,
Okay,
Nimesh.
thank you guys, man. I
It's
appreciate it.
Lucky Lefty, or I lost my left nut, and
I lost my right nut.
My right nut, my bad.
Yeah.
All I have to show for is the stupid special. It's on YouTube. You can go check it out.
Please.
All right, big thanks for watching. If you made it through this whole episode, that means you should be subscribed. There's so many of you out there who watch and don't subscribe, so make sure you are a KFC Radio subscriber. Make sure you get all the content when it drops. Click that button now.
I have 9 fingers. I'm still subscribed. It's that easy.